Hello and welcome to Ryedale Bodyworks. I'm the owner, Mike Hume, and this is my workshop. Now 2025 marks the beginning of my 5th year trading as Ryedale Bodyworks, and I've decided for this year we're going to start social media and we're going to start putting a few things on YouTube of the repairs that we're doing and also just general bits and bobs that we're doing around the workshop. We'll put some stuff on Instagram, maybe even TikTok, and we'll go from there. So this is the workshop. It's just undergone a complete overhaul. We've painted all the walls, all the floor has all been re-epoxy resined. We've done the ramp again, all the hazard tape on it so people don't trip over it. Everything's looking very clean. We've also done out the oven, so the ovens are the roof filters done, floor filters done, and all the walls have been repainted, ready for when we open tomorrow and start all the customers' work. So, my 40 subscribers on my YouTube channel already is mainly because of this. My Clio 182, which has a K20 in, which we've been using for time attack in the UK. And we were actually champion in 2023. Now in 2024, the bottom end decided to let go in round 1, and it's basically been pushed in and out of the workshop for the past 8 months. And this is something we need to address. We need to get the engine out, and at some point we need to get it over to Dave at CR Engineering so he can work his magic on it again, rebuild the full engine, probably put a new crank in because that's obviously going to be damaged, and see what we can do in 2025. So I started my career, I was an apprentice at Ryedale Bodyworks, owned by a gentleman called Alan Richardson, or Sutty as he's known around here. And he gave me my first opportunity to actually start doing some bodywork. And I think I was there for about 1.5 years before the water-based paint legislation was coming in. Now, Alan had what you could probably describe as a makeshift paint booth, which is fine for spraying solvent-based paints, but when it came to water-based, it wasn't ideal because water-based really needs to be around 22 degrees whilst you're painting it. So Alan had made the decision that he wasn't going to continue, and he actually found me another job with the help of one of my tutors at college. This is where Ryedale Bodyworks used to be, just in this building here. That big door never used to be there. There was just a bit of a door just through here. And this is where I very first started as an apprentice, when it was Ryedale Bodyworks. But this is now closed, so obviously he's left, and Steve Barker bought the business off him that was in here and then moved it over to where we are now. Now, the gentleman at BMW called Steve Barker, and he was one of the painters in the body shop, and he actually ended up buying Alan Richardson out of his business and moving it to the location where we are now. Now, I helped Steve Barker move into the site that we're in now. We took the oven out of Marshall's Honda in Scarborough, brought it back here and put it back together. We made the mixing room and various other bits and bobs. And the idea was that I was going to come and actually work for Steve here, which didn't come to fruition because a new company starting out, he didn't have the funds to be able to pay me to actually work for him. And in the end, I actually started doing a few bits and bobs, self-employed, worked for a few body shops in the area. So I actually went back to BMW and I completed my 8-year panel technician course with BMW. Did the panel bonding courses, the aircon course, all that sort of stuff. So I was there for 4.5 years again. I went from the shop floor into the office as workshop controller, and from there I'd heard that Steve was actually going to sell the business, so I popped in just to see him and see what the crack was. Now, Steve was here for 14 years. We've now been here trading as Ryedale Bodyworks for 4 years, and 2025 marks the beginning of our 5th year. What I'm wanting to do is a bit more social media for the business, try and market the business and see if we can grow it. So my ethos is more based towards quality rather than quantity. I'd rather put 10 jobs out that are quality than 100 jobs that aren't up to standard. Now, customers do ask me if I could do a lesser job, and my answer every time is no. Obviously, we have a good reputation and we like to keep it that way. So let's take a look back at some of the other jobs that we've done and probably do a little montage or something like that.
come on.